Hey, in this video, I'm gonna teach you the single most profitable skill you need to build a coaching business. In fact, if you don't build this skill, you can't win. Now, you might have seen my other video talking about this, or you might have seen other people talking about this, but I promise you, what I broke down, I already did it, so it's all filled in, but you can't see it. Yes, I'm doing the intro after I taught everything. One of the secrets of creating videos. What I broke down in the classroom over there is brand new content, and it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And I promise you this, it will liberate you from so many of the challenges that you've been having in your coaching business if you're struggling, and put you on a completely new path. So follow me to the classroom and we'll dive into the conversation. Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of the Truth About Coaching show. And in this show, we're talking about the number one most profitable skill you need as a coach, which is certainty. So we'll talk about why it's the most profitable skill. We'll talk about why our clients need us to have it. We'll talk about why we want it. And finally, most importantly, we'll talk about how you can get it. So let's first talk about why it's so critical. And let me go ahead and fill in the blank here. So the reason certainty is so critical is because it's the energy that you need for conviction and to overpower whatever obstacles you're going to have in your business. The reason that a lot of coaches fail in their business is because they don't have enough certainty in themselves or their skills or their marketing to overpower all the obstacles that are going to come your way. And in coaching, especially transformational coaching, when you're really getting in there and dealing with people's beliefs and the messiness of humanity, which I love, with that kind of coaching, you saying to people that you can help them is going to create fears. It's going to create doubts. It's going to create anxieties. And your certainty is what you need to overcome all of that. And the worst thing you can do with doubt, anxieties, and insecurities is market them. Visibility applied to uncertainty is dangerous. It's dangerous emotionally. It can be dangerous financially if you're putting money into your marketing. And it can be dangerous to your reputation. So you've got to focus on this number one skill, not necessarily before you go out and get coaching clients, because you can get clients through the process and your certainty is going to continue to increase. So there's no line called certain. And as soon as you cross that line, then you get to start your business. But because most people are not focusing on certainty, they're not noticing that their certainty is increasing. And then this line actually feels like a carrot dangling on the end of that hat. I don't know if that's where the carrot actually is, but you never actually get there because the limiting belief inside and the story inside is you're not right, you're not certain yet, you're not confident yet, you're not ready yet. So in this video, I'm going to break down not just why certainty is important, but the two different kinds of certainty. So now, the reason this concept is so critical with transformational coaching is because transformational coaching is creative. Transformational coaching is a creative activity. It's not an intellectual activity. It's not a mechanical activity. A lot of coaches think that coaching should be mechanical. It should be tactical. When somebody has this problem, you apply this solution. And they go after it in this formulaic kind of way. And so they try to find their certainty in the formulas. They try to get their certainty in knowing what to do, in having all of the answers. Because if you have all the answers, then you should be able to succeed in the formulaic approach to coaching. But coaching isn't a formula. Coaching is a creative endeavor. And creativity is completely different than intellect. Creativity is a different animal than the way our brains generally work and the way that we're programmed and the way that we think we find our confidence and the way we think we find our certainty. Certainty can be found inside of creativity, but it's not the same way that certainty is found inside of the intellect. And here's the distinction. The distinction is between expectational certainty and experiential certainty. Expectational certainty is where you find your certainty in the ability to predict the future inside of your expectations. So if you want to know the right exercise to apply to a certain kind of problem, you're essentially trying to find expectational certainty in the future. So when people give you this issue in the future, you're going to say this. When people have this question, you're going to have this solution. When they have this problem, you're going to have this exercise. That's expectational certainty, and it's based on you needing to be right in the future. Now, this is a deep desire for our brain. So this isn't a switch that we're going to be able to turn off and all of a sudden no longer need to have certainty. We will always need certainty inside of our brain. It's just that we have to understand there are two different kinds. So the brain needs certainty, but we have to find it in a different way when we're dealing with the creative process. And the reason transformational coaching is a creative process is because we're dealing with humans. And anytime you put a human into any kind of situation, you don't have any idea where it's going to go. So when human is a variable, there's no such thing as the ability to predict the future because there's no such way to predict the human. That's why expectational certainty is impossible and it's irrelevant. But most people are searching for doing it right. They want to find the right certification program. They want to find the right coach. They want to find the right program. They want to find the right exercises to use. They want to find the right way to dress. They want to find the right titles for their videos or articles. They want to find the right website. Most people are stuck because they haven't found the right thing. But what I'm telling you is the right thing is impossible to know in the future with a creative process. Creative processes demand experiential certainty. Experiential certainty is only found in the past. It's found based on your experiences. So with the creative process, you have to do, and then you recognize your experiential certainty based on the things that you've done. Expectational certainty tries to pave the path with all the right things. Now, the reason this is critical, or what's critical to understand about this, is the reason we want the right path is because we're terrified of doing it wrong. That's the core fear that's operating when we're demanding that we get it right. So the more that you're afraid of wrong, which could be because you're afraid of embarrassment or you're afraid of messing people up or you're afraid of failure, whatever that is for you, the more fear you have around doing something wrong, the more desperate you'll be about creating expectational certainty in the future to guarantee that you do it right. Now, in the coaching industry, all you have to do is type anything related to how to build a coaching business or how to succeed in coaching, and you'll find plenty of programs and plenty of gurus teaching how to guarantee to get it right. What I'm telling you is, number one, it's fraudulent. Because anybody that can guarantee to get something right when humans are involved are lying. But there's no organization or nobody in the coaching industry with any regulatory power, meaning they can't get in trouble for making false claims like that. Not in this industry. So they're selling what people are demanding, which is an impossible thing. The prediction of the future. So we have to understand this is a creative process. Therefore, we have to stop demanding something that's impossible and irrelevant. If you know what exercise to give to somebody that has a certain problem, if you've memorized the exercises, and then you have somebody that throws a curveball to you, all of that certainty actually, not only is it irrelevant, it does damage for you, not just for you as a coach, but it'll do damage for the client if you have pre-decided what their problem needs. Most of the certainty that you need can only come from experiences. You've got to do the work. You've got to learn the processes, put them in motion. You've got to watch coaching demos. You've got to be coached personally. You've got to practice coaching other people. You've got to get feedback from others. You've got to incorporate the feedback. You've got to do it again. You've got to get coached again. You've got to practice coaching again. You've got to get feedback again. You've got to adjust again. You've got to do it again, get coached again, This is a process. It's a creative process that's continually moving. And the more that you go through the experiences, the more you can increase your experiential certainty. And as I was writing my notes for this session, I typed something that made me sad. I almost started crying. Everybody can increase their experiential certainty in transformational coaching. Everybody. Nobody can increase the expectational certainty for transformational coaching. And I promise you, at least 95% of the people who are struggling, it's because this is what they're after. Now, the reason this is what they're after is because this is what we're programmed around. We are programmed to be employees. We're not programmed to be business owners. We're programmed to know the right answers in the form of getting tests right when we go through school, or learning the rules of driving in traffic or the rules of society. We're programmed according to right and wrong. We're not programmed according to try and see. So it's difficult for most of us to change the programming, but we have to if we're going to enter the creative space. Otherwise, you're bringing a tennis racket to a baseball game. And you might be really good at tennis. You might be really good being able to hit the ball over the net and keep it on the court. But if you take those skills that are applicable in tennis and you try to apply them in baseball, they won't work. Your tennis racket is useless in baseball. So this isn't unimportant. It's only unimportant in a creative process, and transformational coaching is a creative process. So now this phrase is what takes most coaches' breath away when it comes to the whole conversation around certainty. And the phrase is essentially what we're telling people when we try to start our business and when we market, when we put out our message. We're essentially saying, I can help you. And there are three elements here to I can help you, and this is what causes most people anxiety, because one of these three elements doesn't have certainty. And if you find yourself ever resisting doing a video, posting on social media, anything at all that can grow your business, what I'm telling you is one of these three elements is lacking in certainty. Most people don't have certainty in any of them. And so it's impossible to succeed. The three elements are, I is certainty in yourself. What that means is you need to know that you have value as a guide. As a coach, you're not a guru with all the answers. You're a guide with all the questions. And I'll post a link or a card up here to link to a video that we did around great questions to ask while coaching. You've got to get good at asking questions, and you have to understand that you have value to somebody. You don't have value to everybody, but you have value to somebody. And your value is actually found in your experiences. Your value is not found in your future abilities to perform. Your value is found in your past experiences that you've learned from. If you get your certainty from your past experiences, then you can walk around with the energy of a guide. And what that does is creates trust for your potential clients. If they don't believe that you have certainty in your experiences, then they won't believe that you will have certainty in their experiences. I don't think I've ever said that before, so let me repeat that. If they think you do not have certainty in your experiences, they will believe you won't have certainty in their experiences. So you've got to find value in yourself enough to know that you can guide people. Then the can help is your skills. What that looks like in transformational coaching is the work, the ability to work with people's limiting beliefs, the ability to work with their internal conflicts, the ability to work with their traumas, the ability to work with the painful memories that people have, the ability to work with habits, the ability to work with addictions, the ability to work with all things human. Transformational coaching is not teaching people what to do. It's helping them do what they're not doing that they already know they should be doing. That's the thing that most of us are struggling with. Not knowing what to do, but why do we not do what we know? Transformational coaching helps people move through their blocks. Transformational coaching helps people heal their wounds. Transformational coaching helps people change their formation. That's actually what the word breaks down to mean, changing the formation. In order to do that, you've got to be willing and able and confident in rolling up your sleeves and getting into the lab of humanity. The cool thing is, it's really simple. Most people think it's incredibly complicated, and when you first start looking into it, it might feel complicated because you're dealing with so many things. But as you dive deeper and deeper and deeper, the human is actually a relatively simple being. There are all kinds of variables that we have to look out for and a bunch of different things that we could apply to various issues, but we have to understand the simplicity of humanity before we can heal all the complications of humanity. And so that means you've got to study humans. Don't study information. Study humans. Studying information won't allow you to help a human who can't apply the information be able to apply the information. Studying humans will allow you to do that. So if you're really into transformation, you have to understand humans. I give away the first module of our online certification course, Breakthrough Coaching Certification, all for free here on YouTube. I'll post a card or a link down in the description so you can take a listen to the program, and it's a deep dive thing. It's not like just a 20-minute drive through. It's a deep dive entire first module of this program to see if it's a good fit for you if you really want to dive in and study human transformation. And then the third thing here is your seeker. Your seeker is the one that is already seeking the information that you have from your past experiences, seeking the lessons that you know. They're not seeking you as a coach. They're seeking the lessons that you know. And the reason I call them your seeker is because they're already moving toward the information. Don't try to chase people down and try to convince them that they need what you want to teach them. Look at what you've learned in your life and then find the people who are already looking for that. And here's the thing, there are millions of people looking for the lessons that you've already learned in your life. I promise you that. Millions of people. Your biggest business explosion will come from the lessons you've learned in your life put in front of the people who are looking for them. That's where your business explosion is going to come from. Now, one of the problems, though, is that most people haven't found or haven't embraced those most valuable lessons. I've actually started to do what I'm calling signature value sessions for people. You answer 10 questions that I give you, and I'll spend some time with you on the phone and give you what I believe is your signature value. And then we're going to put that in front of the people who are already looking for it, and that's how your business is going to increase. Now, if you like this video, check out that video where I get into the soft skills that are required for being a masterful coach. So a lot of people are deriving their confidence as a coach from their skill set. That's a huge mistake. Of course, your skill set is important, but whoever holds the problem holds the solution.